Sup y'all, Manny here. And man, wasn't Sonic the Hedgehog 2 awesome? I wish I could be talking about that today, but I don't have enough footage of it. I'll have to repeat the trailer for like 10 minutes as I talk about it. So we'll wait for that some other time. For today, we're gonna talk about where it all began, and that is with Sonic the Hedgehog 2020. Now, I don't feel too bad talking about this movie today because it came out in a very interesting time. For many, this was the last movie people saw in theaters before the world changed. And the Sonic design that we got in that first trailer is not the same Sonic design that we ended up in the final movie. And I got the 4K Steelbook Blu-ray of Sonic the Hedgehog, which is still wrapped in plastic. I haven't even opened it up yet. So let's pop this sucker in and discuss. So let's go back to the 90s, shall we? I was there for the 16-bit console war between Nintendo and Sega. So my first introduction to Sonic was in Sonic the Hedgehog 2 video game for the Sega Genesis. And man, did I play the crap out of that game. I was a huge Sonic fan from that point on. Like, I just wanted everything Sonic in that point of my childhood. I would get the Sonic SpaghettiOs. I would watch the Sonic cartoon that was voiced by Jaleel White, who plays Steve Urkel in Family Matters. There was also this other Sonic cartoon that was like darker, and he had like a raccoon or whatever she was, girlfriend, and that one was harder to catch back in the day. Like, I would try to catch episodes for it, but they barely gave it, like, compared to the other Sonic cartoon. Dr. Robotnik in that cartoon looked a lot scarier. Sonic Satam, or Sonic Satam, however you say it. That's what I was referring to in my video here, so I saved you a couple of minutes from having to write that in the comments below. I also remember that I had a chance to play outside with my friends, and I told my mom no. I'd rather stay inside and watch the Sonic cartoon with Steve Urkel. Yeah, that's how much of a fan I was of Sonic. Because I love playing outside, and my crush was out there too playing, and I was like, nah, Sonic over that. And man, Sonic CD was also very legendary back then because nobody really had a Sega CD console. So I remember just being mesmerized by hearing all the stories about that game, like it had 100 levels and some other crap like that. Fast forward, I got to play that game on the PS3 and that gave me I got to play Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I passed the crap out of that. Yes, I got all the Hyper Emeralds and everything. Then in 2001, I got a Sega Dreamcast and I got Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2. After that, I was pretty much done with Sonic. I mean, I did get Sonic Advance on the Game Boy Advance, which was really good. I bought Sonic Heroes, and I only got like halfway through it. It just wasn't the same. Then they gave Shadow the Hedgehog some guns, so I'm like, oh, that doesn't look right. I don't want that. I'm not interested in that. Now, Sonic 06, I was kind of excited for a bit, because it looked like a Sonic Adventure 3. Like, it was going to continue the story, but then it wasn't that. It was something original, and it got so much reviews. I was like, yeah, forget that noise. So yeah, I have not been buying any Sonic games since then, pretty much. I just lost interest in it. Though Sonic Mania was fantastic. I did buy that one. You know, it answered the question of what it would have been like to get a proper Sonic game on a Sega Saturn, pretty much. Basically, if this movie would have come out back then at the height of my Sonic love, I would have been so freaking excited. So in 2019, when the first trailer came out with the ugly human-looking Sonic bumping to Gangster's Paradise, which made no sense. Yeah, I was not interested. Now, the Sonic design did look bad. I thought it was like ugly looking, but I wasn't that offended with it because everybody just made an uproar. So much so that they managed to get the studio to change the design. They had to delay the movie up to February of 2020. Again, I didn't care that much, but once they changed the design and I saw that, I was like, oh wow, this looks like Sonic now. And you know, you have Jim Carrey there too, acting over the top like he used to back in the early 90s. I was like, you know what? I am interested in this movie now. The fact that the studio went out of their way and delayed the movie to change the design because of fan outcry, I guess you could argue that they were bullied into a corner there, but technically they listened to their fans, so that should be rewarded. I'm gonna go see this movie. As always, just in case, here is your spoiler warning. You've been warned. Sonic the Hedgehog was released on February 14th, 2020 and is directed by Jeff Fowler. This movie stars Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik, aka Eggman, James Marsden as Tom, and Ben Schwartz as the voice of Sonic. Now here's a quick rundown of the whole story so I can just talk about my favorite parts. We see baby Sonic here getting chased by echidnas. Then Sonic's Al Guardian gives him some rings. And this time the rings have a special gimmick. Now just remember, my knowledge of Sonic storylines ends at Sonic Adventure 2 pretty much. So this is the first time I see a ring being used as a portal. So yeah, she makes a portal to go to Earth and says run away because you have a special power. Because yes, in this movie, Sonic is basically the Flash. He runs extremely fast, faster than the video games, and could do a bunch of Quicksilver stunts. Anyways, a bunch of years pass by and Sonic is older now, but he's very, very lonely. So he runs around real quick in a baseball field to take out his frustration and causes a power surge. The government finds out about this and they go to investigate, and they send their best scientist, Dr. Robotnik. Sonic is scared, he hides, and then he bumps into Tom, who shoots him with a trank gun. Then he ends up opening a portal and losing all his rings in San Francisco. Feeling bad, Tom takes him all the way to San Francisco to find the rings. On the way though, hilarity ensues, while also being chased by Dr. Robotnik, who has a hold of one of Sonic's quills and uses it as a power source. So they all make it to San Francisco, and there's a final battle, and boom boom pow pow. Sonic uses his power to defeat Dr. Robotnik and send him into a mushroom world where he's trapped until the sequel. And they all live happily ever after. And that's the gist of the story. Now let's talk about the stuff that stood out to me. I really love how Sonic gives people like food names. Like he calls Tom the Donut Lord. He calls his girlfriend the Pretzel Lady. And then eventually that leads to him calling Dr. Robotnik Eggman. Now in my opinion, I think the name Eggman was so stupid. I was used to the name Dr. Robotnik. And I know the original Japanese name was always Eggman. If you ask me, Robotnik sounds a lot cooler than Eggman. And this is why I love this little detail here, because he has egg-shaped robots, so naturally he's Eggman. That honestly made me like the name Eggman. That was clever. I like that. Now, when they talk about Sonic going to this mushroom world, my first thought was the first level of Sonic and Knuckles, Mushroom Hill. I thought that's what they were referencing, but since it's like a nasty place and bad and whatever, maybe they are taking a dig at Super Mario. Now, the way Sonic acts here is much different from what I remember in the cartoons and the Sonic Adventure games. He was more cocky and confident, so even though this is not how I'm used to Sonic acting, this still works really well. I felt bad for him that he's so lonely. Who can't relate to that? And he had a lot of funny lines. This is one of my favorite lines he says.
Can you believe Amazon is gonna deliver packages with these things?
Like that's hilarious. That's great. It could have been a bit annoying, but no, he pulls it off. I was laughing out loud a lot of parts of his dialogue here. Ben Schwartz did a fantastic job voicing Sonic. Now Sonic might be a little too fast here. You potentially get rid of all the danger that Sonic faces, and probably create a few plot holes. But I give him credit. He could just run to San Francisco and get there like in no time. But he says he doesn't know where it is, so he ends up like falling into the Pacific Ocean. Also, his character is very lonely. He could have been bullshitting him for all we know, and just made that as an excuse so he could, you know, make a friend with Tom. So bravo, they covered their asses there. Good. Now I wasn't crazy about Dr. Robotnik's look, but at the same time, this look makes more sense in the real world setting, which I think that's what they were trying to do with the original design of Sonic. They were trying to make it look realistic and whatnot. They do end the movie giving Dr. Robotnik his classic look, which I don't know why he shaves, but hey, whatever, it works. I like this part here when Dr. Robotnik first comes into the scene, and the Major here is seen holding his gun at ready, just in case. Also, Dr. Robotnik makes an egg reference here.
Look what came out of my egg sack.
And Jim Carrey's so great here. He's bringing his iconic 90s self into this iconic 90s franchise. It's two of my most favorite things from the 90s merged into one here. That's awesome. I love it. I will say his dialogue is a bit awkward at times. I know he's evil, but some of the stuff he says is just like, what?
You know, I won't miss you when you're gone. Human beings are unreliable and stupid, and I care very little about them.
It's a little heavy for the kids film, huh? There's a Will Smith joke in there somewhere. I just don't know which one.
So some guys came in asking some questions. Kind of reminded me of the guys from Men in Black, but not as likable or charming as Will Smith.
So go ahead, you guys make the joke yourselves there. As for the rest of the cast, they're great. Even the stuff with the humans, with Tom and his girlfriend and the family. Even the adorable little girl giving Sonic his shoes. It was great too. Also here I noticed in the scene where he's being chased through the Great Wall of China, he's not shooting. And I think that was done on purpose. You know how they want to release all these movies in China? I'm sure they were like, oh, you cannot destroy the Wall of China, so don't shoot in there. Cowards! All in all, this movie was a lot better than I ever would have imagined. Like, wow, this worked on so many levels. It was hilarious. I was actually laughing out loud. I was very charmed with all the Sonic references. He changed the lore a bit, but it still worked so good, and it was very entertaining and fairly well paced. Even the Wiz Khalifa song that came out for this movie was really good. It was very catchy and nice. I love it. And the after credit scenes, oh my god, I love it so much. It's so good. It's like it's a video game. It's like with the same graphics as the Sonic game and the Sega Genesis. That brought such a big smile to my face. What a way to end it. And then the after credit scene teasing the second movie. I just want to personally thank everybody involved making this movie, to cast and crew, the writers, for putting a lot of love and care into this movie, as it has reignited my love for Sonic. So thank you all again, because it was nice to be reminded of that. And again, what makes this movie stand out is that it was one of the last big movies to come out before COVID-19 shut down the whole world. But right now, as I'm recording this, I'm on my 6th or 5th day of my COVID recovery. Thankfully, it wasn't that bad. It felt like, you know, allergies, because, you know, I got the vaccine. But anyway, this movie holds a special place in my heart. I can't believe it. When I had no interest when the first trailer came out. It's not perfect, but again, it's a very good time. So with that, I give Sonic the Hedgehog a 9 out of 10. So yeah, I've been a lifelong Sonic fan. That's one of the earliest memories I have, is playing Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And I am very glad that the movie worked out, that it was great, that they changed the design and we were able to enjoy it. Now, eventually I want to talk about the Sonic the Hedgehog games on the Sega Genesis, in particular Sonic the Hedgehog 2, because that's one of my favorite games of all time and I cannot wait to talk about it. Anyways, with that, this has been a review of Sonic the Hedgehog, just cause.